Hello guys, welcome to Pantech E-Learning. Yeah, good evening to everyone. Yesterday attendance is not post. Kindly please post the attendance. Yeah, it will be. Okay, welcome to everyone. In today's session, we're going to learn what is Django, URL routing and navigation. In today's session, we're going to learn what is Django URL routing and navigation. Okay, let's begin to the topic. And before that, we need to understand basic knowledge of Python and Django, and we need to know how to install the Django framework in our system, and we also know understanding of Django view and templates. Okay, these are things are we already discussed in the previous sessions. Okay, so you don't worry about this. And now we learn what is URL routing. Now we're going to learn what is URL routing. The URL, first we understand what is URL. The URL is help navigating between the pages on website. We already say what is URL. URL is a link. Like link, it will be navigate to our particular web page. Okay, the website is having a multiple page, right? The website is having a multiple page. We need to visit each page, so we have some URL. We need some URL. Okay, and that link will navigate to our web page. Okay, the website is nothing but it is having a multiple pages. Okay, we need to visit every page, so we having separate URL for each and every pages, and that should be getting into to the each page perfectly. Okay, that's why we're using URL. What is routing? URL is a like link that can navigate to the particular page. Okay, and what is routing? The routing means matching a URL with a specific function in the Django. Basically the routing is nothing but basically the routing is one place to another place. Okay, it will be getting into another place. That is the meaning of routing. Routing means matching a URL with a specific function in Django. In here, which is mention basically the routing is meaning is one place to another place. It will be getting one place to another place. Okay, Okay. Okay, now we understand what is URL routing. Okay, there is a URL routing means the URL is a link and routing is a one place to another place. Okay, you don't get to understand. Okay. Okay. This is what is URL. Okay, this is what is URL. This is the structure of URL. This is the structure of URL. Whenever type in Facebook, Instagram, anything, okay, this will be navigate to, whenever we need to navigate to separate page, it will be look like this. Okay, here the HTTP is a protocol. Okay, there is a protocol. The protocol is nothing but it is a set of rules we need to follow using in the web development. Okay, that is called protocol. www dot is a subdomain and host wins. Okay, host wins is a root domain. It is the name of our website. The www.facebook.com, the www.yahoo.com. Okay, these are the website domain. These are called as website domain. .com is top level domain. .com is top level domain, and we also having .in, .org. These are also the top level domain. Okay, and in this website these are the domain, right? www.facebook or anything. Okay, here we using hostwinds. Okay, hostwind.com and /blog. In the hostwind.com we need to go into the blog site. Okay, we need to go into the blog page. Okay, and in the blog page we need to go into the URL structure. Basically we need to mention the separate page. The URL is used for mention the each separate page. Whenever we need to go for that page, we using this URL. Now everyone understand what is URL structure. This is the URL structures. Okay, the HTTPS is a protocol, and we need to mention the subdomain, and root domain is nothing but is our name of the website, and .com is a top level domain, and there is a many top level domain like org, .in. These are the top level domain, and we need to locate subdirectory. Okay, in this website we need to go into this site blog. Inside of the blog we need to go in for URL structure. These are the how the URL structure. These are the basic URL structure. Okay, now I understand what is URL routing and what is URL structure. Okay, why we use URL routing? Why we use URL routing? Why we use URL routing? Okay, how Django okay, first we understand why is URL routing, why is it is very important, why we use this. Because it is used to organize website structure. Okay, it is used to organize website structure. It can handling each and every page perfectly, so we can navigate to each page in the perfect manner. That's why we using a URL. That's why we using a URL. Okay, and it also improve the user experience with readable and URLs. Okay, the user can easily understand the URL. Okay, that's why it will be navigate to the each and every page. Okay, that is that giving a good user experience. Okay, it giving a good user experience. Who user who use the website and he need to locate in the separate page, the URL is very useful. That's why we choosing URL routing. Okay, and it make it easier to manage scale applications. Scale application is nothing but it is a large the website containing a large amount of pages, that is called scale application, that is called scale. Okay, scale is a large amount. Okay, large amount, basically the makes it easier to managing a long type of application. It is easy to managing a large type of application. We perfectly locate the address of each and every web page. You can easily access these things. Okay, that's why we're choosing a, that's why is the URL routing is important. That's why is the URL routing is very important. Okay, what are the things? We are organizing a website structure and improve user experience with readable URL and make it easier to manage and scale application. Okay, how Django handle request? Now we're going to see how that Django handle request. The user enter a URL and Django check patterns, find the right view function and return response. Okay, the user enter a URL and Django check the pattern and find the right view function in the response. Okay, we just understand how Django handle URLs. So I just example I using yesterday Django project. I open this. Here our project Django project structure. Here is our Django project structure. We are having a file for URL, right? We are having a file for URL in app. Okay, this is url.py. Okay, now I explain these things. And user enter the URL and Django check the pattern. In Django check the url.py, he check the patterns. Okay, URL patterns, he check the URL patterns. Okay, we mention here the path. Okay, this is tell in this line. Okay, whenever a user enter the URL, the Django check the patterns and find the view function. It will be find the view function. Okay, I just close this and I'm using this. Okay, this is side, this is okay. In this project we are having a url.py. Sorry. Okay, the user enter the URL, the Django check the pattern. Okay, Django will check the patterns. These are the patterns. Okay, here we need, and after that find the right view. Okay, in the pattern we just find the right view. We mention view. View means view file. Here the view file. Okay, and view file here we mention a home. Home is a function in view file. In the view file we write a function for home. Okay, we write a function for home right here. Okay, that will be okay, this will be return the response of HTML page in the template. right? The same thing here mentioned here. Okay, the URL, enter the URL, Django check the pattern in the url.py file. Okay, and find the right view function. It find the right view function. It find the right view function here, view home. Okay, view home. In the view file we having a home function. It find the right view function and return the response. We return the response in the HTML, home.html file. Okay, home.html code. Okay, it will be written. Fine. And Django uses url.py to this to do this mapping. Okay, basically Django using the url.py, this file. Okay, url.py to done this work. Basically in this file we using for that. Okay, that's why he mentioned this line mentioned. Now understand how Django handle request. Okay, I tell once again. Okay, basically the user enter the URL in the browser. Okay, how that Django collect check the patterns in the url.py. We just checking this view.home. Okay, this the view is a file and home is a function. We go into the view.py here and we writing a home function. Okay, in this home function we just rendering a render means it will be loading. Okay, and loading a home.html file. In the template we mentioning a home.html file. It will be written in our web page. Okay, and where does routing happen in Django? Okay, where I'm already said in a file called url.py. In this file we done this work. In this url.py we done this kind of things. Okay, and there is two places, and url.py in that two places there is two places, and one is project level main routing. Okay, there is a main routing, and another one is app level. The each app can have its own routes. Okay, basically these are the file we having. This is our app directory, this is our site project directory. Okay, in this both file we having a urls.py file. Okay, here this is our app directory. Here we having a url.py here, and site in the project directory we having a url.py. Okay, whenever we creating a new app, I just creating a new app. Okay, now I'm already my project, my site. Okay, this is this file. Okay, here I just type python manage.py start app using something, what kind of app 2. Okay, I just mention app 2. Okay, now enter. The another app is created in our project. Here we just see the app 2, right? Here we see app 2. Okay, here we see the app 2. Okay, we need to create inside of the urls.py. Okay, and each app we need to contain the url.py. Okay, in this app we contain url.py, and this is our first app. This also having a url.py. Okay, we need to create url.py file in our app. Okay, whenever we're creating another app, we need to create a url.py. Here we need to mention every routes. Here we need to mention every routes. Here whenever I need to mention path, here I need to mention about page. Okay, and after that in view I writing about function and name is equal to about. Now going to the view.py, when I need to write about function, it is collecting a request, and after that I need to return render pass the request, and I need to in my app I having a about HTML. Okay, but in the template we don't having a about HTML, so I need to create about file about HTML. Okay, and I need to mention it will be creating like this. The about file I just creating a h1 tag, mention this is about page. Now I save it. I need to mention url.py here. This new app. The project level we need to mention path and whatever about. Okay, after that I need to use this include to include whenever we creating a new page, we need to mention in the main directory also. Okay, using this include in the my app I just creating for URL. I need to create a link for URL. Okay, so in the my app, where is my app? In my app there is a URL. Okay, we need to mention in the main project. In the my app we need to mention url.py. Now I just save it. Okay, so when I run this project, python manage.py and server. Now I'm getting a link like this. Go to here, HTTP. Okay, it has some error. We need to move the folder in our template. Okay, that's why the template is not found otherwise. Okay, now I load this. Now this is about page. Now it show the perfectly. this is called, whenever I type default, it will be welcome, it will be the normal home page is print. Now I using about, it will be print, this is about page. Okay, this is how the routing is work. This is how the routing is work. First we need to create a, I try for another page. This is okay, home, about, and another page. What are the page? I just using in the function, I just creating for contact page. Okay, I just collecting a request here. Again I need to return render. Okay, render, and pause the request. After that I need to mention, in app, okay, here we mention in my app. Okay, sorry, I mentioned my app. In my app directory we having a first I need to create a new HTML file, and contact.html, and now I using, just press exclamatory, it will be creating a boiler page automatically. Okay, I mention contact. Okay, I save it, and here are not correct. Here I need to move the folder in the perfect directory. In the inside of the template folder I need to create a new app folder. Inside of the app folder I need to mention this HTML things. Okay, now I just using H1 tab, and I using contact. This is contact page. Okay, now I mention it here, and now I need to already creating a function. Okay, I already creating a function, and now I mention the contact.html. okay, in this my app we having a contact.html. okay, and now I save this function. After I need to mention it in our url.py. in view, first I need to mention in our app level url.py. now I creating the path, and again I need to mention contact. I need to put slash like this. Okay, and after that I need to mention the in the view file, we have a function for contact. Okay, so I need to mention like this, and I name the function to contact. Okay, something, yeah, I need to mention in the quotes. Now I save it, and after I need to mention in our project level directory. This is our project level directory, this is our url.py. okay, now again I mention path, and using contact and slash, and include my app. In the my app we having a url file. Okay, so we need to include these things perfectly. Now I save, and now I save everything, save and view.py to save. Now go to the web page. Now I using contact, it will be show, this is contact page. Okay, whenever we enter about, it will be show about page. Okay, whenever we enter blank, it will show the home page. Okay, this is how the URL routing is work. Whenever we are creating a function, we need to mention in the app level URL, and after we need to mention our project level URL, and we also need to create in our template HTML folder. In the template HTML folder we having a my app, and instead of the my app we need to create the HTML folders. Okay, this is how the URL routing is work. Okay, these are the two project level main routing and app level main routing. Okay, and in the project level, we already in the practical things we already see these things. The practical project level url.py we need to mention like this. Okay, we need to mention like this and we need to include like this. Okay, in the project level, this is our project level url and I just mentioning like this. Okay, I just mentioning like this. In the path, first I need to mention which route, okay, which routing, and after I need to include the URL routing. Include my app URL, okay. In the my app URL we already mentioning like this. Okay, we just mentioning like this. We mention view dot, in the view file we having a about function. Okay, in the about function, the view file, okay, in the view file we just using in the about function, it will be 10 loading the HTML things. Okay, it will be loading the about page. Okay, these are the we need to include in our main level project. We need to include our main level project. Okay, and app level url.py, the inside each app like blog, shop, etc., and keep routing organized for each app, they need to use including function. Okay, what is this line said? Because the app level url.py, in app level url.py we having a we having a app. Okay, we creating a app. Okay, and inside of the app we need to create a url.py. We need to create a url.py, and after we need to mention in our project level url.py. That's the lines of tell. Okay, basic URL pattern syntax. The inside each app like blog, shop, there is like I'm just creating a app 1. Okay, but we are having a we need to create a any, okay, like blog, shop. Okay, this type these are the names of app. Okay, they keep routing organized for each app. This is used to keep routing organized for each app. It will be used for organizing every app. It will be used to maintaining and organized in the proper way. That's why we need to create a URL for each app, and needed when using include. And also we need to mention in our project. We need to mention our project. How we mention here in our project URL we need to mention, we just include the URL dot my app dot URL. Okay, like this we need to mention in our project. Like this we need to mention in our project level url.py. In the project level urls.py we need to mention like this. And creating a simple view. Create a simple view. We are already creating a here in the view file. Where is the view file? Here. The view file we mention like this, right? Same thing we mention like this. Okay, so we need to HTTP response mean it will be returning as normal text. I just loading a template also. Okay, and here we need to create a like this function. Okay, like this function we need to create. That's why that will loading to our browser. And mapping URL to view. We need to mapping URL to view. In url.py we need to mapping. Okay, in this is project level URL we need to mention our app level URL. App level URL this like. Okay, we need to mention view dot home. Okay, view dot home name is equal to home. Okay, we need to mention view. In the view file we having a home function. In the view file we having a home function. Okay, and in the view file we having a about function. In the view file we having a contact function. Okay, Go to the view, we having a home function, we having about function, we having a contact function. Same thing. That's why we mention like this. Okay. When I load about this slash, whenever slash about, this will be load. When I using contact, it will be load. Okay. And how you run the project? How we run the project? We just run. I just cut the server. Clears. How we run the project? We just type Python manage.py run server. When I type this command, it will be generating a link like this. It will be generating like a link like this. So I just use this link, copy this link and paste in our browser. It will be loading perfectly. It will be loading perfectly. Okay. Okay, if you want to convert this masterclass into internship, you have a way, and these are things we are providing who buy the internship. We are providing access VIP community and 1 month internship certificate and get project source code with the 3+ project with source code. Okay, and get PPT. When I teach a lesson, these are the PPT. Okay, these are PPT I using. So this PPT also given who buy the internship, and it is flexible access to anytime. You can accessing these videos in the anytime. Okay, and these are the things, these are the contents we providing for who buy the internship, and this is the project we provide who buy the internship. And this is a certificate for 1 month internship certificate we provide. And if anybody interested, you can scan it, and now it is in discount. You can scan it and buy if anyone interested, and it will be the clear content without any disturbance, and it having a point-to-point content. Okay, and we are also providing a source code also, don't worry with that. And you having access. Okay, you have access for any time. It will be useful, and with the certificate, the one month internship certificate, it will be more useful for students who interested in web development with Django, with Python. The Python also have a strong foundation in web development. The JavaScript and Python, these are the strong foundation in web development. Because the Django is considered as a strong web development, because having a best security, because the Instagram is a very popular app, right? But the Instagram also considering Django is the best framework for Instagram, because it's easily maintaining a big application, and it giving a large security, best security to compare other framework. That's why the Instagram also choosing Django for backend. Okay, in the front end we using React Native in Instagram, but backend we using Django. Using dynamic URLs. Okay, accept value inside the URLs. Accept values inside the URL. The path user. Whenever we pausing some real-time value ID. Okay, real-time things in using this URL, we using int ID. Okay, whenever using a numbers pausing the URL, we just using this, and it will be collecting in the view.py. Okay, this is a dynamic. Okay, dynamic URL. Whenever we using the slash user. Okay, in browser, where is the browser? Okay, in browser. Okay, we just using slash about. Slash about, it will be about page is working, right? And whenever using something, my name or anything, okay, that will be written getting in this variable, and this will be go to the view file. In the view file we collecting that input, okay, that is called dynamic URL. Whenever entering anything, it will be collect and that will be shown our web page. That is called dynamic. And this our which we collecting in the function, okay. We just try it. Go to the here we having app.py, okay. This is our project, this is our app, okay. Here I mention path and just type user for user page, okay. This is for user page, and I'm just collecting int. Okay, just collecting int, and I just I consider this variable. This is the variable name. This is I need to mention which type. When I'm type string, passing a string, I need to mention str. When I passing a integer, I need to mention int, okay, like this, okay. After I need to close, I need to mention like this, okay, like this slash. After which file, okay, in the view file we having a I don't create a function, so I need to create, okay. So I just mention here, after that I need to create, okay, user detail. I mention the same thing, user details, okay, user detail, okay, and save it. I need to create in a view.py. I need to create a new function def, and what is the name, user detail, okay. I just copy this in view.py. I just paste like this, and collecting a request, and after I need to collect the ID. Now I just return render request. I pass the request first. After I need to mention my app contact.html. Sorry, to mention new file, okay. What's file? User, I mention the user detail, okay. User detail.html. I need to create here. I need to create a new file in templates, so I'm using this same name here .html. when I creating inside of the template user detail here, and after that I need to mention this function. I am already done this function, and after I need to pause the response like this, okay. I need to pause the response to that page. Okay. How? In the view.py we having like this, and here comma I need to pause. I need to pause ID. In this user.py, this I'm using ID. I just mention ID is equal to ID. Now just using ID. Just check it. In this variable, I am collecting this ID. Okay, and after that, this page will be written perfectly. Okay, the same thing we just using like this. this is we don't loading the template, but it will be show like this. Okay, it will show like this. Okay, we just check. Not here. Home page. Here. Okay. Here home page, and I slash user detail. Details or detail. User detail. And after that I need to mention okay details and what is our function name. Just a minute. In view.py you mention user.detail. Okay, user.detail, when I call it user.detail will be written. Okay. Okay, I just type user.detail, it will be show nothing. Okay, now I mention IDs 2. Okay, template it's not found. Just having some mistake. Detail, user detail. Okay, it's taking time maybe. Okay, basically how the dynamic is work. Basically we collecting a request like this. In this ID we collecting. First we need to mention in URL. We just collecting the user detail like this, and in this user detail we just enter any value. It will be show in this ID, and this will be going to the view.py. In this view.py we collecting using the parameter. We collecting that ID using the parameter. Okay, and after that we just return in the HTML page. When I load, this will be written like this. Okay, here we just passing the ID. Here we just passing the ID, and here we need to using this Ginger template. We just pass the ID here, and it will be written in our template. Okay, I have some error. Okay, so I rectify it, and I'm already said int. Okay, int is basically integer. Okay, it's collecting an integer value using that dynamic value. Collecting an integer value. str is used to string value. We collecting a string value here. Okay, and slug is it is used to collecting a SEO friendly titles. Okay, it's just collecting a SEO friend. SEO means search engine optimization. Whenever we search a website, it will be based on our keywords, it will be list in our website. That is called SEO. Okay, SEO related title also we using in URL converter. Okay, basically if there is a now we got error for same. Okay, whenever the page is not load properly, it will be show 404 error. That means the page is not found. Whenever we enter anything wrong, routing is wrong, it will be show page is wrong. Okay, the same thing. Error handling, it show 404 error handling. That means the page is not in load properly. That's why. Okay, that's why it show page is not found. Okay, and that's all today class. And is there any doubt, you can ask me in LinkedIn also, and we will see in the next session. Okay, and thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, you can like and subscribe also, and thank you for that. Bye bye.